What's going on, everyone, and welcome to this video. Let's talk about Amazon accounting and bookkeeping in 2023 because, if you don't know who I am, we're on track to probably do $1 million this year. That's dollars and pounds with our businesses combined. We said in the USA and the UK. And in that time, I've had to learn about bookkeeping and accounting and how to understand it all. But actually, I don't have to do it. I don't have to put that much effort into this. It's fairly outsourced, and at the end of the video I'm going to tell you how I did that. But first of all, let me just explain what it is and why it's important. So Amazon accounting and bookkeeping is where you need to keep purchase trackers, you need to keep receipts, you need to keep data, you need to have softwares, etc. to track what you are doing. You need to track how much you are spending, you need to track the purchases, you need to track the receipts, you need to track where you bought this stuff from. You need to have proof of VAT, etc., etc. And the reason this is important is because HMRC can do a spot check at any time to start with, and if your books are not in order, if they figured out that you've underpaid or overpaid, you could be in trouble. Okay, more underpaid. You can get in big trouble, fines, or even jail time. Extreme, obviously, if you don't pay the correct tax. So if you use the wrong accountant, you can be in big trouble. So that's why it's important. Okay. So I want to talk about also how it is so important to do this to start with. Okay, let's talk about how it's important to start with. The reason it's important to do this to start with is because some accountants will make mistakes. Some accountants don't understand Amazon FBA accounting, okay, or e-commerce accounting in general. Not all of them, but some of them. And actually a bad experience I had before was an accountant that actually fought me. It's little things like this can slip the nest. They can either pull wrong reports from Amazon, not pull any reports at all, or, like they did in my case, assume that turnover on Amazon wasn't what was required to hit the £86,000 VAT threshold, when actually it was. It was total sales on Amazon, not total money coming through my bank account. And actually I almost got in really big trouble with HMRC by ignoring the threshold because I was incorrectly told by an accountant that didn't know what he was doing and that was recommended to me by someone that quite frankly probably didn't know what they were doing in the kindest way. I don't think they even sell on Amazon anymore. I was incorrectly told that information. So that's why it's really important to have the right accountant, the right bookkeeper, or learn how to do it yourself. Really, really vital here. So I'm going to explain to you how I do my accounting and how you need to do it. Okay, and there's a couple of options here. So first option obviously is to do it yourself. And if you're going to do it yourself, once again, you need to be tracking purchases. This is not, financial advice, by the way. It's not accounting advice, I mean. But you need to be tracking purchases. You need to be tracking VAT receipts. If you're VAT registered, you need to be tracking invoices. You need to be tracking total spend of that week. You need to be putting this into different folders. And then you're likely going to need to get Xero or Link My Books, etc. to link all this stuff together so you've got this bird's eye view overview. That's how you do it. Now, to me, that's way too confusing. So I use Awesome, and Awesome do this all for me, okay? Awesome actually just take care of all of my books completely. So I've actually got a business manager, but if you haven't got a business manager, you can do this easily. So what my business manager does, i.e. my company does, is just all we do each month is just send to the email address or to the software app where you can upload it in the Awesome app, all of our invoices, all of our receipts, and then they will file them and deduct them off our total liability, for the year or for the VAT period. And if you're not VAT exempt, they will do this for you on a monthly, yearly basis, etc. They use all the software and stuff is included, and they link that all together, and they sort of figure out and balance all my accounts and stuff, and I can actually see it on the dashboard how much profit we've made and what we owe and stuff like that. So that's really cool. So all I do is instruct my virtual assistant to give them invoices. Apart from that, I don't really do anything. We don't do much more. They do everything else. They let us know how much tax we got to pay, and they're sort of there on hand within 24 hours if we need to talk to them. So that's all I do. That's how I do it. But that is how you also need to do it if you are planning to do it yourself. You need to come up with your own system. But if you want to use Awesome, then I would probably recommend getting the 2-month free link below. And people ask me, 2-month free accounting link below. People ask me, Aidan, if you were starting out, would you recommend doing limited from the start? And the truth is, yes, I would. Would you get an accountant from the start? and yes, I would. And the reason I would is because even if you try and skip this and hold off like I did, 7 or 8 months, then get an accountant later on, you're going to have to pay a backtrack fee for them to update all your books. So it's not just like you can skip around it. And although that backtrack fee might be less, okay, than the total accounting, maybe not, because I think I paid about £700 or £800 an accounting in a beginner's package of Awesome's like 50 quid a month or something like that. In the mini packages, I mean. Then even if you skip around that, you're still going to have to pay a back fee. So maybe it isn't less, but maybe it is. But not only that, you're just going to have to, there's a lot of sort of crap that you have to, put together. If you don't do accounting for 8 months, then do it all at once and then try and get an accountant at the end. It's much easier to set up your limited company, which Awesome do for 12 quid as well. So, just in the link below, it's 12 quid, set it up. They set the company up, set your accounting up with them, start sending them receipts from the start, and then when you come to do your tax return or even go VAT register, it's just so much easier. I spent 3 or 4 hellish days when I was going VAT registered, when I needed to pay my tax, when I needed to get an accountant, of just spending a lot of money backdating it, and also just having to get all this information for the accountants before the days I had my team doing this stuff for me. So yeah, it's important, guys. It's important, and that's what I would recommend doing, and that's how I do my accounting and bookkeeping. So I hope that video's helped, and I'll see you in the next one.